Okay. Yeah, it looks like we're live on both platforms here tonight for the June 2022 Government and Legislative Affairs Update. My name is Adam White, and let's give folks a couple of seconds to get logged in and joining us here tonight. I got a few things I want to talk to you about, but don't want to take up too much of your time, seeing as how it's summer and everybody's out enjoying this these warmer temperatures, bright sunshine, and hopefully you're getting caught up on summer projects. But more importantly, hopefully you're out enjoying summer and flying around. I've been out flying quite a bit, actually, and that's one of the things I wanted to talk about is flying around and smoke. Even Anchorage has been dealing with some smoke here lately. Southeast Alaska, not so much, but typical weather in Southeast with sunshiny days being few and far between, and some low clouds and all that. So a lot of smoke here in the interior, a lot of smoke out in Southwest Alaska right now, a lot of forest fires, wildland fires, and grass fires, brush fires across the state. So TFRs, always need to check and make sure there's no TFRs out there while you're flying around, especially when it comes to being around fires. So what's the best way to do that? Talk to Flight Service. Call them up on the radio, talk to them. They'll be more than willing to help you do that. And we'll talk about another way to talk to Flight Service here in just a few minutes. But so yeah, be careful out there flying around. Watch for fires, watch for TFRs that pop up around those fires, and be careful out there flying around. One thing that I have noticed in the past couple of days of flying here in the interior, even though the visibilities at the stations that have weather, some of the airports, although it may be reporting VFR visibilities, 3 to 5 miles, even 6 miles, and you can hear that I forgot to turn off the radio here in the hangar. Apologize for that. As you can tell, I'm here in the hangar here at the airport in Nenana, and folks are out enjoying flying tonight. So apologize for that radio going off in the background. My guess is it's going to go off again here in a minute as they make their traffic calls. So apologize for that. VFR visibilities in smoke. Vertical visibility is always better than horizontal or slant range visibility when you're flying in smoke. Please take that into consideration. Don't get yourself in a situation where you can't see what's going on, even though it technically may be VFR according to the visibility. You may not actually have VFR type conditions when you're out flying around. So be aware of that. Be careful out there flying around in the smoke. Construction season, definitely summertime or construction season. It's kind of synonymous with each other. Several airports have been closed for periods of time because of construction or reconstruction this summer. There's going to be more added to that list as we get deeper into the summer. Be patient with that. Check your NOTAMs, plan ahead. I know some folks have complained that they weren't notified that their airport was going to be closed for a particular period of time. And I've been talking to airport managers about that, and see if we can't do a better job of getting that word out, especially to folks that are based at these airports that may be closed for some time for construction, whether it's runway construction, painting of the runway, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, do your homework, check your NOTAMs, talk to your airport and airport manager if you're aware of who that might be. Talk to other folks based at your airport and find out what the schedule and timeline is. I was in a meeting today about potential airport closure here in Nenana because of rehabbing the surface and repainting the runway markings, which desperately needed, but very excited to have that done before next winter. So all that to say, some of these airport closures probably could have done a better job with getting the word out by the folks there on the construction teams and the airport management. But working with those folks to see if we can't do a better job in some other places. So somebody just popped up a question on Instagram about flying through Canada. And I've had a lot of reports from folks that they are getting through without any really real hassles. There's a few just hurdles that you have to overcome. Say, do your homework. If you want some specific questions answered, I encourage you to reach out to me directly. The Alaska Airmen's website, alaskaairmen.org, has my contact information there, and I'll be more than happy to talk you through flying through Canada. A lot of folks are doing it this summer, and folks are coming up and enjoying Alaska. Several routes, of course, to do that. Be more than willing to talk to you about what may be a better route than others for you, for your particular aircraft, your skill level, your comfort, as far as how long of a day you want to have as you're out flying around. 100 low lead availability is something else I wanted to talk about. I've been mentioning the fact that 100 low lead is kind of in the crosshairs right now. And, well, it's not just by the EPA. I actually had a situation working through some stuff. Had someone call me talking about availability of 100 low lead out in remote Alaska. And what we're finding out is, so far through the years, general aviation, private, non-commercial general aviation, has relied on the infrastructure that has been in place from the air taxis, especially in some of the hub villages. Well, a lot of these air taxis are going towards turboprop, whether it be a Caravan or some other single-engine turbine. And as a result of that, they're not stocking as much 100 low lead at their remote hubs. So it's been more and more difficult to get 100 octane, not just because of shortage in supplies. It's just that there's just fewer and fewer places that sell it in rural Alaska. So with that, please make sure that if you're anticipating on being able to buy fuel where you always have, you may want to call ahead and check and see what that availability might be before you get yourself in a situation where you find yourself without enough fuel to go anywhere else. So call ahead. That's the moral of that story. Call ahead and figure out what you've got going on for fuel availability in rural Alaska this summer. Two-way texting. I told you that I talked a little bit more about communicating with flight service. I've mentioned this already. If you were at the Great Alaska Aviation Gathering, I talked about this during my presentation there. But we can now, in Alaska, communicate with flight service via text message. And that's a great thing. And you think, wow, we've been texting for decades. Why is this a big deal? It's been a long road. And flight service has worked very diligently to get this done. But the wheels of the government turn very slowly. And it's taken us a long time to do this. Flight service is broadening the scope of the devices that they're working into their system. Right now, it's just a few, whether your cell phone, your satellite phone, or a Spot X right now are the only devices. And I know most of you out there have in-reach devices. I've got one in my flight bag sitting right here in front of me. I use spider tracks in the two airplanes that I fly. Those are not part of this program just yet. And the reason why is because flight service needs to have a specific phone number, for lack of a better term, that never changes with your device. InReach and several of the other Iridium-based satellite communicators, your identification number changes. It's in a rotating pool of numbers, and flight service needs to be able to verify who they're talking to based off of just that serial number type thing. So they're working through that process. They know that they really need to get some of these other devices into the system to make it kind of gain critical mass. But I can tell you that it works great with your cell phone. You have to have a master flight plan on file. And if you don't know what that is, I encourage you to call flight service and ask them about that. They'll be glad to help you fill that form out. You may actually have to mail in some information because of security concerns and other things. Federal government doesn't classify email as being secure enough to submit that kind of data. So work with flight service with getting that information to them. Get your master flight plan either filed or updated, which, by the way, if you have a master flight plan, when was the last time you updated the information on that master flight plan? So make sure you do that. Right now what we can do is we can open, we can close, and we can change our ETA when it comes to flight plans. I've done this a few times now, and it's pretty slick. It's really helpful to be able to just text and say flight plan closed. I've landed at my destination and closed my flight plan. So if you're interested in doing that, reach out to flight service and talk to the specialist there They may pass you over to a supervisor just to let them get back to their duties of giving weather briefings, but I promise you they'll be able to get somebody on the line to talk to you and give you some more details about how you can participate in that program. So the other item that I had on my list, it's summertime. We're out enjoying flying around. We're enjoying getting together with folks. And if you're in the interior, or actually it doesn't really matter where you are, the Alaska Airmen's Association and the Fairbanks General Aviation Association is having our Solstice barbecue again this year. And it will be June 21st at 5:30 p.m. at the Campground at Fairbanks International Airport. And so I encourage you to attend if you are able. It's a potluck style event. The Airmen's Association is providing the hot dogs and the hamburgers and all that. But if you can bring a bag of chips or some side dishes and that sort of thing, maybe some drinks, that would help. And love to see you there. I've got a full day of flying scheduled that day, but I will probably just fly straight back into Fairbanks instead of coming home here to Nenana and driving to Fairbanks. So my plan to be able to attend is to fly in, like hopefully you will. Look forward to seeing you there. Once again, June 21st, 5:30 p.m. at the Fairbanks International Airport Campground. So with that, those were the main things I wanted to talk about. Didn't want to take up too much of your time tonight because it is summertime, and I've been busy working all day today on all kinds of projects here in the hangar. You know, you use an airplane, you got to work on them. Changing the oil, cleaning the belly, you know, all that kind of stuff. So with that, I will say, well, just scrolling through, making sure I didn't miss any questions. There were a couple of questions again about flying through Canada. Don't really want to take a lot of time talking about that here. Would love to talk to you more about that offline. My email address, if you just want to be able to copy that down right quick, adam.white, W-H-I-T-E, at alaskaairmen.org. All of my contact information is on the Alaska Airmen's website, alaskaairmen.org. And you can call the office number there that's listed on our website and listen to the phone tree. And I've got an extension there that you can hit that extension and it'll roll over to my cell phone since I work remote. So with that, it's good to see some names popping up here that are very familiar and see some folks that have been tuning into these for quite some time. So again, thanks for your participation in this. Thanks for being an Alaska Airmen's member. Enjoy the summer. Be safe out there. Watch out for TFRs. Stay away from the fires. Give the folks out there fighting those fires plenty of room and enjoy your summer. Be safe, folks. We'll see you.